Welcome to Tinker Club, where we spend time talking about what we're tinkering. Here we are, Leanne Nugent. Thank you for joining us again. Hey, Micah.
Hey, cool to be here.
All, all right. Well, here's our manifesto. Tinkerers don't build in silos. We celebrate what's in progress, not just what's finished. Everyone's a builder. Show, don't just tell. We experiment fast, fail forward, and learn in public. Contribution fuels innovation. And we don't just talk about the future, we build it. So, of course, there's specific details around each one of these items, but here we go again. So, in the spirit of tinkering, we are going to share some of the things that we have been working on as we've evolved our apps. And of course, we're also tinkering on other things in our business, podcasting and other CRM systems. And what should our tech stack look like? So, we've got a full agenda today. So, how about we just pivot over to the progress with our apps first?
That sounds amazing.
Do you want to talk about your Anyone Can Fundraise first?
Let's talk about yours first and then we can
Okay.
get to mine.
Yeah. So, where I was last week was I wanted to perfect the guest user experience. So, one of the things that I was having an issue with was starting your assessment and sending this URL and having it persist. So, if I hit enter, I was getting a 404 page cannot be found. And I was like, I couldn't understand why. And what I came to realize was that there were, I think it's like webhooks or something, because this DNS is being routed through to my domain. Like I didn't want it to be on the Lovable domain. I wanted to be on my domain. So because of that, every single time I wanted to direct link into one of the like page, it wasn't using the same domain. I don't know why. So understanding why, I don't know if that's what we're here for. I just want it to work. So now it works. So, but again, what's interesting, right? If I go back to the beginning, I want to just show you something else. Okay, I thought that I changed the way that this tab looks as well. So this could also be an indicator of that DNS thing,
hmm
right? So anyway, the goal is send the assessment. It's a link that persists so anyone can take it. And then, yeah, again, like you can choose whichever one that you want here. And then and the test was like, can I press okay, cool, I can do it. So, Micah, thank you for being my first guinea pig here. One of the feedback items that you gave me was that it's really long, like it's a lot of words to read. So
Uh,
we'll review that
I,
and then
I
yes, go
think
ahead.
I think it was okay because it was like 10 questions. I'm goal oriented. So I would like
Uh-huh.
it to say, okay, you're going through 1 through 10. Because if I'm going through 1 through 60, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go through one.
Yeah, one thing that I liked about Typeform is it tells you about how long it's going to take. And I wanted this to say, okay, like at the end, it does say it's 10 questions, that's 20 minutes. But because this intro is so long,
Mhm. Yeah, you need to put it at the top.
exactly. So, anyway, that is interesting. So, yeah, what you'll get. And then maybe it's just like start with the what to expect or
Yeah.
just like a too long didn't read kind of thing at the top. Like, but yeah, this part here, very lengthy.
Or even at the leadership assessment, put 10 questions. It's like, even like to tell you the
Ah,
truth, if I see 10 questions, I know I've started. Questions are reasonable. I'll go through the 10 questions. If I see 20 minutes, I get nervous.
yeah.
Like
Okay.
that, it seems like a lot of time. And it didn't take me that long. So
Correct.
it
Right.
was reasonable.
Okay. 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 So we can do that. Now, one of the things that I wanted was I wanted the AI to write how long it's going to take. Right? So maybe that's kind of one of the things, but we'll see how it goes. So, anyways, walking through this, how did you find the prioritizing your business drivers? Like, did this make sense to you?
It made sense. At the very end, you show like a summary of what happened, and I couldn't see that. So I didn't see how that
Ah,
was
okay.
connected within the drivers.
Yes.
Um, this made sense to me. Motivation, self-regulation. So, like when I was doing it, just to tell you sort of my feelings,
Yeah.
uh, like I think empathy is really important, and also motivation is important. So then I had a little bit of a struggle
Mhm.
between which one I should put first, but eventually I kind of reconciled it within my head. It worked. So I think this works
Okay.
for me.
Okay.
Um, but I did take a little bit more time because I thought about it. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is
That's
not a
cool.
bad thing.
Okay. So, continuing to the assessment, did this feel okay? Like when you were reading these?
Yeah, this felt okay. I
Yeah.
was good. It's not too long, so that's good.
And then this progress bar, you want a little bit more like 3, 4, 5, like a countdown to 10. Yep.
Yeah.
So I can add to the progress bar at the top.
Yeah, I'm very goal oriented. I just
I get it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll just plow through here. So again, the idea is I'm a guest user. I don't have any access to anything. Okay. So now this took me forever to figure out. And I
Mhm,
think even now I don't even know if it's still 100% working. So if I just do like Euro bot, Euro at test.test. So the idea behind this was anyone can access their stuff. So if I don't want to save and create my profile, then fine. I don't have to do that. But
mhm,
I still need to capture their information so that the test, like the person who created the assessment knows who did this.
mhm.
Right. So that's that. So let's just see if I get,
Oh, I see what you're saying. So this is not to keep in sort of a database. It's just to send to the user.
yeah, well, send to like the creator of the assessment. And
Mhm,
then because really the goal was I want this to be part of a sales cycle. So this actually is supposed to be from the organization who created the assessments. So it should say receive updates from Tinker Time Labs, but that's another bug. So it closed and it failed.
you can see the results.
Yeah, you can still see the results, which is great. So the results are good. How did you feel about the results?
I didn't see the results because I couldn't get
Oh,
past the
you couldn't get
login
past the
screen.
login.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
if I go through the one that you had sent
oh,
me as a link,
the answers aren't saving. Darn it. Okay, that's okay. And then the idea is after here, you can go to the gear and you could see, or actually, you could even see it from your dashboard. You should see all of your completed assessments. So my hope is I'm going to see it. Come on. Yeah, that was one of the things that I was working on was getting the okay, see, and then so notice this. So I have an error loading this. The guest experience seems to be better. The conversion from guest to registered had a couple of bugs. And now the registered user, that now has a couple of bugs. So going through persona by persona to like squash each one of these bugs, because the goal was I want them to be able to access their results whenever,
yeah,
right?
yeah, of course.
So now if I sign out and I sign in as the creator, so now I see much more. These are the assessments that I've created. But the idea is I have a new creator settings tab and I can see all of the creator responses. So
Cool.
Tinkerbot came through. Here's HeroBot. They came through. So I can view the details. Ooh, this is nice. I didn't realize I put it in a modal. Oh, and the response is saved. So now I know. So the data is being saved.
Yeah,
Okay, that's comforting. Now it's just an access issue.
it's
So
a
yeah,
typical troubleshooting. Access is very, very difficult. I thought I
isn't
fixed
it?
it on one thing and it just like it's there again. I see
I
mine is
know.
there. What does
Yeah.
mine say?
Oh, see, something bugged. Let's see. Oh, creator, different results.
There's
Yeah, so that one didn't work. Okay, let's just keep going back.
it's the one above it.
There was also an issue where multiple responses would get created and multiple users would get created because it kept looping. Like I had some recursion thing happening. So I squashed that bug. So it is interesting to see all of the potential bugs that can happen. Um, so the last piece that I did before I continued was if you just somehow found your way to the homepage, I wanted the homepage to have all of the click paths solid. So now I have this concept of a request access. So I took a page out of the like get join the guest list, and now I'm going to get like alerted whenever somebody signs up for this. And then I can reach out to them and find out
Oh,
what
that's
they're
great.
looking for. So I
I
thought
love
this would be
that.
a lot easier. And yeah, so like hero bot hero at dot past
Uh, I love this.
hero.
This is great.
So then now I'm on the wait list. And now in my backend database, like I can see that I've got a request. So now I want to have that kind of funnel through and like actually send me an email or send some sort of notification, like something like that. So I don't lose sight of it. So yeah,
That's amazing. I think that's exactly that I need to do as well. Get people on the wait list, get them onboarded, get them to see whatever it is, and then move through that sort of process. I think that's amazing.
thanks. And
Super
then I
helpful.
started to think, so one more minute and then I'll pass the mic over to you. I'm at the stage now where everything needs to be documented and I now have to like treat this as a product. So starting to manage a backlog. And so I think my priority for this week is just nail down the final bugs as a registered user and then document everything and then start showcasing. And yeah, that's going to be the path forward, I think.
No, I think you're definitely on the right direction. The conundrum, and this is the same issue that I'm having, is that this morning I wanted to share again with you the dashboard, and I was having issues with whether it would show, whether it would fetch, and this is all due to because you're a different persona, uh,
Yes.
and different user type.
Mhm.
And I got stuck in that loop. And basically, what happened was until this meeting started, I was trying to fix that where I should be doing outreach and other things. But
I struggle with the sell before build model. I
me too.
struggle so hard with it. I understand why, right?
Yeah.
Like, we wanna make sure that we're building something that the market actually wants. So, but I wanna have a very solid proof of concept in place
Yeah.
before, right? Like, and I think it plays with our emotions and our confidence level a bit. So, I mean, as long as you get to a place where you can make it through end to end, like I think that's gotta be where we gotta stop and then start doing the
Yeah.
outreach. So yeah, I think like March is when I'm gonna really start my
March,
outreach,
March, March.
right? March is gonna be good. So one more week of just polishing and the temptation to add another feature, like lock things down, like I have to just stop and then just put it on the backlog and then documentation really begins, like manage like because I want people's feedback and like see how they want to use it, things like that.
I think that's a good goal, like a deadline, right? So, like,
Mhm.
before I need that as well. I think you're headed in the right direction. Maybe if you just send me one more of the links and I'll go through the one as,
Perfect.
you know, person who just takes the survey. Eh,
Perfect.
yeah. And then I think that would
Okay.
be,
Thanks for being
yeah.
my guinea pig.
Hmm.
All right. Let's flip over to yours.
I'm gonna go share my entire screen here. Share, share.
Loading. Yep.
Okay. So here, just gonna go into the admin. So I'm just gonna show you kind of I created a couple new things like you were
Oh,
saying,
nice. But
but
this is nice.
uh, yeah, I was supposed to stop, but I couldn't stop. So like I created so this is basically the homepage. I can snazzy it up and make it a little bit more, beautiful. But I think right now it has basically what I want.
Mhm.
The thing that I added, and this is like for me when I add something or I like create something new, it kind of like creates a burst within my mind of like,
I
oh
like
my
it.
God.
Yeah.
So
Yes. I
this is
do like the meditation break.
this is what kind of created that kind of synergy within my mind. So I created this, and basically what I did
Oh,
is I connected it to a thing called Insight Timer. Insight
I love
Timer,
really?
it's super simple and it made me think a lot like, oh, what you can do. Cause I could have built something like this as well. Like I could do it, but like the question is why? They're giving it for free. They gave me the widget. I just embedded the widget and it looks good.
It does look good.
Yeah. So, and the cool thing is you can switch out. So there's like, I'll show you two things. You can switch out. So this is basically a collection. So you can like click here. So that's like one, but you
Yeah.
can go through any one of these in here. And then the
Mm,
other thing is like, these give you little like pieces of it, but you want
okay.
to watch the whole episode. So if you click here, it takes you to this
Wow.
and it's free. So, which is like, and they're not asking for money for this API,
Oh,
and it's something they created, and it looks good.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. So then it opened up my mind to think like I don't want to recreate Gmail. I don't want to recreate Salesforce. So then the question is, how do they integrate?
Mhm.
So for Salesforce, it integrates through OAuth, which makes sense because I want to push my contacts to Salesforce. And then so that the organization keep a larger database within Salesforce,
Mhm.
it will just put minimal information like the contacts and the notes in here. And then it syncs and then you have everything in one place. But then when you get to think like, okay, so what does the future look like? So
Mhm.
what if it's like agentic? So
Mhm.
this is way different. So I wanted to, let's say, connect to some service and create a, a fundraising donor gift. I wanted
Mm.
to do that and give me a note about that. But do I want to create all that infrastructure within my application? The answer is no. So what if I decided to put a chatbot here and say, okay, this chatbot, you're going to say to it, hey, can you do this for me in this website so that you update it so that these are kind of, you know, we're talking about the same thing. I'm not totally sure how it would work back and forth, but those kind of potential use cases are clearly on the way. There's a thing called, for example, OpenAI operator.
Okay. Okay. Looking at
It's
it.
called, yeah, OpenAI operator. And there's very similar operator is a little bit more expensive. So you need like
Mhm.
OpenAI $200 a month account.
Okay. Didn't see that this was happening.
I think it's not available to Canada, but
Yeah.
there's another one that I found, and I think I'll have to just like maybe put it in the show notes or give it to you later. I'll give it
Okay.
to you for sure. So basically, what the application does is you type in, what you want, and then it
Mhm.
will search the internet for stuff.
Yeah, cool.
So OpenAI searches the internet for stuff for you anyway, but it can't do things like log into your Gmail and maybe you don't
Right.
want it to do that, but eventually that's what's going to happen.
Right.
So, that's where it went for me. I was like, oh, I can do this without creating it and
Exactly.
have the functionality. But like all those examples you just showed me, which are really amazing, they built an entire infrastructure that may not be needed.
Hmm. Very interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A good
So,
direction to go down.
yeah. So, and the only other thing on this page is you have the link and the notes that are shared, so you can see those things here, and then
I think
whatever
this
the
is nice.
upcoming events. So, getting everything to be super clean and work has been a, you know, ongoing thing of tinkering.
Yep.
But, like, yeah, all the examples you showed me today were super helpful, and I think I'm gonna go in that direction. Uh,
Love that. Well, I love that. That's the whole idea of Tinker Club. We're here to, showcase what we've been prioritizing and what we built in the last week and give each other ideas. Like this is how we move forward. So, well, I'm excited to see what comes next. Do have to wrap it up. And yeah, because we've been working on and looking at a lot of things. So we will maybe make the next one a little bit longer. So until next time.
Bye.